Ever dreamt of penning down a novel but didn't know where to start? You're not alone. The first step, and possibly the most crucial, is to unleash your creativity. It's about letting your imagination run wild, exploring the farthest corners of your mind, and bringing to life your unique ideas. Think of your creativity as a boundless forest. Within it, there are countless story ideas waiting to be discovered. To find them, you don't need a map, but a sense of curiosity. Dive into your personal interests, whether they're as grand as cosmic exploration or as simple as the daily life of a house cat. Your story can be about anything, as long as it captivates you. Seek inspiration everywhere. It could be from the lyrics of a song that touched your heart, a headline in the morning newspaper, or even a conversation overheard in a coffee shop. Inspiration is all around us. It's just a matter of tuning in. Now ask yourself, what if? This simple question can unlock countless possibilities. What if humans could breathe underwater? What if we could talk to animals? What if we lived in a world without gravity? This is your chance to challenge the status quo and venture into the unknown. Next, search for a unique angle for your story. This could be a plot twist that no one saw coming, a character with an unusual trait, or a setting that defies the norms. Your unique angle will make your story stand out from the crowd. Finally, don't be afraid to experiment. Mix genres, play with narrative styles, break the rules. This is your canvas, and you're free to paint it with your vibrant imagination. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. It's your story, and your creativity is the limit. Now that you have a rough idea, let's refine it into a strong, compelling story. Imagine your idea as a lump of clay. It has potential, but needs to be molded and shaped. And just like a sculptor, you have tools at your disposal. One such tool is an idea bank. This is a place where you can store all your thoughts, concepts, and inspirations. It could be a notebook, a Word document, or even a voice recorder. The key is to record your ideas as they come, no matter how big or small, significant or trivial they may seem. Over time, you'll have a treasure trove of ideas to draw from. Now let's move on to the premise. The premise is the core of your story, the fundamental concept that drives everything else. It's the answer to the question, what is my story about? This could be a situation, a conflict, or a theme. It's essential to distill your story idea into a clear, concise premise. This will not only guide your writing process, but also engage your readers. Speaking of themes, let's delve into genres and themes. These are the categories and central ideas that your story falls into and explores. They set the mood and provide context. Are you writing a thrilling mystery, a heartfelt romance, or a gripping science fiction tale? Each genre has its own conventions and expectations, and understanding them can help you craft a more effective story. Themes, on the other hand, are the underlying messages or meanings in your story. They could be about love, friendship, betrayal, or redemption. Identifying your themes can provide depth and resonance to your story, making it more relatable and impactful for your readers. In essence, building your story idea is like constructing a building. The idea bank is your raw material, the premise is your blueprint, and the genres and themes are the architectural style. Each element plays a crucial role in creating a compelling narrative. A well-defined story idea is the backbone of your novel. Make it compelling. With a solid story idea in hand, it's time to give it a structure. Just as a building needs a blueprint, your novel needs an outline. This isn't merely a suggestion. It's a crucial step in creating a story that readers can follow and enjoy. The outline is your roadmap, guiding you from the first word to the final punctuation mark, ensuring that you don't lose your way in the wilderness of your own imagination. Let's start with key plot points. These are the crucial moments, the turning points that drive your story forward. The introduction of your main character, the moment of conflict, the climax, and the resolution. These are the pillars that hold your narrative together. Plot points give your story direction and purpose, and they're what will keep your readers turning the pages. Next, we have character arcs. These are the journeys your characters undertake throughout the story. Maybe your protagonist starts as a timid underdog and becomes a confident champion. Perhaps your villain begins as a ruthless tyrant but ends up showing a hint of remorse. By outlining your character arcs, you ensure that your characters grow and change in a way that's believable and satisfying to your readers. Now let's talk about settings and locations. Your story's environment can be as important as the characters themselves. A bustling city, a tranquil village, a haunted mansion. These aren't just backdrops, they're living, breathing parts of your story that can influence your characters and their actions. By defining your settings, you make your story more immersive and vivid. Finally, there are subplots. These are the side stories that run parallel to your main plot. They provide depth to your narrative, fleshing out your characters and adding layers of complexity. Whether it's a love triangle, a hidden secret, or a personal vendetta, subplots can add spice to your story and keep your readers engaged. An outline is your novel's blueprint. It helps you stay focused and organized. It's the foundation on which your story stands, the guiding light that illuminates your path. So, take your time with it, refine it, perfect it. Because a well-structured novel is a novel well told. Every story unfolds over time. Let's talk about establishing a timeline for your novel. In the grand scheme of storytelling, time is more than just a ticking clock. It's the rhythm of your narrative, the heartbeat that keeps your plot moving forward. Establishing a timeline for your novel is essential, and here's why. It maintains continuity and sets the pace of your narrative. Think of your story as a journey. Your characters are traveling from point A to point B, experiencing events, emotions, and changes along the way. These events need to happen in a logical sequence, and this is where your timeline comes into play. It's the roadmap that guides your characters through their journey, ensuring that events unfold in a coherent and consistent manner. Imagine reading a book where the main character is a child in one scene and suddenly an adult in the next, without any explanation or passage of time. It would be jarring, right? A well-structured timeline prevents such inconsistencies. It provides a clear progression of time, allowing your readers to follow along with the story without getting lost or confused. But a timeline isn't just about avoiding confusion. It's also about pacing. The pace at which your story unfolds can significantly impact how your readers engage with your narrative. A timeline helps control this pacing. It allows you to decide when to slow down to delve into details and when to speed up to create tension or excitement. Creating a timeline might seem like a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. Start simple. Outline the major events of your story, then start filling in the time between these events. Consider the time of day, the season, even the year. These details can add richness and depth to your narrative. Remember, a timeline isn't set in stone. It's a tool to guide your writing process. Don't be afraid to adjust it as your story evolves. After all, just like time itself, a good story is always moving forward. A well-defined timeline ensures a smooth and consistent narrative flow. A synopsis is a snapshot of your novel. Let's dive into how to write one. Just like a photograph captures a moment, a synopsis encapsulates the essence of your novel, giving a brief yet comprehensive overview of the plot, characters, and themes. Firstly, summarizing the plot. This is where you condense your story into its most essential parts. Think of it as the skeleton of your novel, the backbone that holds everything together. The trick here is to focus on the main events, the key twists and turns that drive the narrative. Remember, you're aiming for brevity without sacrificing clarity. You want to give the reader a clear sense of the story without revealing every minor detail. Next, we move on to describing the main characters. This is where you introduce the reader to the personalities that populate your novel. But again, brevity is key. A good character description in a synopsis is like a thumbnail sketch, capturing the essence of the character in a few deft strokes. Highlight their motivations, their struggles, their triumphs, and always link their actions to the plot. Then comes highlighting the key themes and conflicts. Think of these as the heartbeat of your novel, the underlying currents that give depth and resonance to the story. Is it a tale of love conquering all odds? Is it an exploration of the human condition? Whatever it is, make sure it shines through in your synopsis. Now, conflicts are the fuel that drives your story. They create tension, drama, and ultimately, the resolutions that satisfy your readers. Whether it's internal conflict within a character or external conflict between characters or with the environment, make sure to highlight these in your synopsis. Lastly, remember that a synopsis isn't just a dry summary, it's a mini version of your novel, so let your unique voice shine through. Be engaging, be compelling, set the tone, and give a taste of what's to come. A compelling synopsis can be a great tool for pitching your novel to publishers. So, take the time to craft it, polish it, and make it the best snapshot of your novel it can be. You've got the tools, now it's time to put them into action. We've come a long way together in this creative journey. We've delved into the depths of creativity, exploring and nurturing it like a well-kept secret garden. We've discovered the power of a story idea, how it can be a seed that, when planted and tended to, grows into an intricate and mesmerizing tale. What's next? Well, we're going to take that story idea and give it a backbone. Structuring your novel is all about mapping out the journey your characters will take. You'll be the architect of their world, laying out the key plot points, outlining their character arcs, and defining the settings and locations. It's like preparing for a grand adventure, charting the course, preparing for the highs and lows, and setting the pace. Then, we've looked at establishing a timeline. This is a crucial step that helps you keep track of your story's progression. It's like having a compass in the wild. It keeps you oriented and ensures you don't lose your way. Finally, we've tackled writing a synopsis. It's the essence of your story distilled into a compact form. It's like a treasure map, giving you and your readers a glimpse of the rich and exciting journey your novel promises to be. But having all these tools and steps is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you start implementing them. Remember, each step you've learned is not a rigid rule, but a guiding light. They're there to inspire and facilitate your writing process, not to chain it down. So take these steps and make them your own. Tailor them to suit your unique writing style and the story you want to tell. Remember, writing a novel is a journey. Enjoy the process. Every word you write, every character you create, every world you build is a step towards completing your masterpiece. So, take a deep breath, pick up your pen or open your laptop and step into the wonderful world of storytelling. Your journey begins now. Writing a novel might seem daunting, but remember, every author started somewhere. Think of your favorite book. There was a time when that story was nothing more than an idea in someone's mind, just like yours is right now. They didn't know how it would turn out, if people would like it, or even if they could finish it. But they started. They took that first step, and look where it led them. Now, it's your turn. You've got your story idea, your characters, your plot. You've thought about your timeline, you've sketched out a synopsis. You've done all the prep work. All that's left is to start writing. And yes, that can be the scariest part. But remember, you don't have to be perfect. Not on your first draft, not on your second, not even on your third. Writing is a process. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to write something you don't like, because you can always edit, you can always improve. You can't do any of that though if you don't start. So push aside those fears, those doubts. They're not helping you. They're not serving your story. All they're doing is holding you back. But you're a writer. And writers write. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect sentence, the perfect word. They write, they learn, they grow. That's how they become better. That's how they turn those ideas into stories, those stories into books, those books into bestsellers. So, are you ready to write your novel? Take the first step today. You've got this. And remember, you're not alone. There's a whole community of writers out there just like you, taking that first step, writing that first sentence, creating their first story. So go on, join them, start your journey. Happy writing.